Hello, everybody, and happy lunch date to you. Welcome and come on into today's live. I wish you a wonderful Thursday afternoon to all of you beautiful souls out there around the globe. And I would like to use this opportunity today to talk to you about my Coachees red flags. Well, basically, it's the red flags that I see in potential coachees that want to work with me. And all of the people that are basically following me, that are sending me DMs, emails, or just commenting on some of the videos. And from the messages that you guys are sending me, or some of you, I can already understand, or I already realize whether you are actually ready for that transformation of coming to Germany and searching for a job here. Basically, the way of how you're phrasing your questions and what kind of questions you are asking me tells me whether you are ready or not, and whether you are actually ready to work with a career coach like myself or not. So I would like to dive into some of those red flags today and what it actually takes to find and land a job here in Germany. You've probably already seen a couple of videos where you have heard of the different questions that I normally ask people when they are, for example, talking to me during a discovery call, or when they are sending me messages. So one of the first questions that I always ask is why you want to come to Germany. And it's not just on my end that I share this idea with you guys of what is important and why it is important for you to answer this question, but also all of my interview guests that I have. And there are either experts that I'm talking to that also have an idea about the German labor market, or expats and immigrants themselves who are living here in Germany, who have gone through this entire process of settling here in Germany. We all agree on that fact that it's very important to have a strong why you want to come to Germany. And now let's recap one of the situations that I had this week. So several people are always contacting me to ask questions on the German labor market in general, or they ask questions about how they can find a job, how they can find a proper university where they can study towards a great degree, or also what kind of career entries there are here in Germany. And that's everything. Obviously, that's fine, and that's very, very helpful that you ask these questions. But if you, for example, send a question to me asking, can I get a remote job in Germany full time, but stay in my country where I'm living? Let's dive into that question, for example. So I will always, like in my capacity, give you an answer and send you messages or like send you a reply as soon as possible. And I normally, people already overload me with information about themselves. So they give me some background on who they are, what they have studied, what kind of degree they have, and what kind of career path they are on. So whether they are, for example, in human resources like myself, or whether they are in engineering, in IT, in management, and all of these things. And that's also very helpful. Then obviously, from my best knowledge and my background and the information that I have, I share the answer that I have. It's not I don't say that it's like 100% this is the only truth out there, but it's like what I have collected throughout those 10 years of having worked in HR and knowing the German labor market, being a German myself, still being in a huge network of recruiters and HR staff, hiring managers, and talking with my friends and colleagues about what is going on in the German labor market, that I simply can give you from my opinion, a really good answer on what your perspectives are. And currently, I can tell you that anybody in any way and any sort of career has very good opportunities to find and land a job here in Germany. However, the process of getting, for example, a visa, it can take some time. It can take a couple of months, and you need to be patient for that. And it's not just a quick decision like, oh, today I woke up and I knew I wanted to go to Germany, and tomorrow I will be in Germany. That's really rare that is possible, especially if you are from outside of the EU, because you need specific requirements in order to enter the country, in order to arrange your visa and all of these things. So now one person approached me and asked me, okay, so can I work fully remote from the country where I'm living in right now? And this is always possible. There are startups that are working with people from all around the globe here in Germany, but you need to keep in mind that those people don't have a German work contract. Those people have a freelance contract, so they are being paid on output, or they are being paid on the amount of hours that they are putting in, and they have set a certain amount of money according to that time. Yeah. So basically, if there is, for example, a virtual assistant who's sitting in the Philippines, maybe, and then there's a German company that wants to hire that virtual assistant, they will set up the terms with that virtual assistant of how many hours they need that virtual assistant per week or per month, whether they want to work with them for a full year or just on the go, and obviously how much this assistant is going to earn and what kind of output they are expecting. Okay, so this is something that you need to keep in mind. So there is the possibility of working remotely from the country where you're living in right now, but this will be on a freelance basis. If you want to have a contract with a German company, or just a company that is based in Germany, and you want to have a full-time contract here and want to have your insurance here and pay the taxes here as well, and basically have your contract here in Germany, there are certain rules that are applicable that you need to keep in mind, which is why it's not that easy to simply stay outside of Germany. Especially with the pandemic, there have been many changes of doing home office, working remotely, and all of these things. However, the German state caught up to those difficulties that are popping up due to that, because a lot of employees thought, okay, now I can work from home, so basically I can work from anywhere where I want to work, so I'm just getting on a plane on the other side of the continent. As long as I finish my work, everything is fine, but I'm staying somewhere else and do my work. That is not really possible, because that means so the companies have always, and you can read that in the job ads as well, that they are stating specific rules on, you need to work within these time zones, you need to work within the EU, you need to work within certain requirements that are out there, because otherwise those companies will get really big trouble with the legal and tax system in Germany. So we have the company needs to pay certain taxes, and obviously if there is someone that is living abroad, or that just simply does their work from abroad, it could mean that they are on a sort of business trip. So how are you spending the costs? And that is something that is relevant to the German tax system, which is why it is really difficult. And the company might even be sued for tax fraud, because you are living somewhere else where maybe the living costs are different. Maybe you're not paying the taxes and everything like that is involved in this entire process. So my answer would be, if you want to work remotely, then you should think about having a freelance contract. If you wanted to have a full-time contract, you should come to Germany. But this question already shows me that you're not really interested in living and working in Germany, making and settle here and really immigrate to Germany. If you are asking me whether you can work 100% remotely from your country. So what is possible, and I've seen that with my coachees, is that the first couple of months of your employment. It is possible to work from your country, so that the company from Germany will send you all of the equipment that you need, like your laptop and your access to the intranet and everything that is involved in that. But there will be a limited time frame. Yeah. So for example, there was this this time frame, I remember last year, when the pandemic was like evaluating certain countries, or put them in different zones, and there were like these virus variant zones that were not allowed to enter the Germany in general, those people from those countries, right? Because we were so afraid, or the German state was so afraid of catching that variant here in Germany, that those people were not allowed unless they were working in the health industry, like doctors, nurses, and all of these people. Those were allowed to enter the country, but all of the other ones were not allowed. However, the company will make sure that you can enter the country as soon as possible. So there might be some quarantining involved in a different country within Europe that is for you available to enter. And then you can do your quarantine there and then come to Germany. That's something that happened last year to one of my coaches. And in this time frame, you can already work for the company. Being in your quarantine, you can, as long as you have the equipment from the company. But there is a limited amount of time, so like 3 months, and they say, okay, after these 3 months, you need to enter that country and work for us and be at our home base, basically, of where our company sits. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. But like this question, that's basically one of the red flags that I've seen. If somebody asks me, can I work 100% remotely from my country? Why do you want to work with a German company? I mean, if you want to work with a German company and you have a freelance contract, obviously you can work from anywhere in the world, and that's fine for you because you're kind of like a digital nomad. But if you want to have a German contract, that's not possible. And why do you ask me that question? Because that shows me that you don't really have an interest in working in Germany. You don't have really an interest in settling here. You don't really have an interest in working and integrating into the German community, into the German society, but you want to have the benefits of a German work contract. But at the same time, that doesn't really make sense, because having a German work contract only makes sense if you also live here, in my idea, because you also get the benefits of having like great health insurance, free education system, great infrastructure, and all of these things, like great engineering, obviously. And all of these things, you only get that if you live here. So why do you want to have a work contract? Just that also, and another red flag, just because of the money. That is not the right thing to do, okay? And also, for many people that, for example, that I speak with from the United States, they actually learn less when they come here to Germany. However, they get other benefits, such as the infrastructure, free education, free healthcare, and all of these things, or not free healthcare, but the healthcare that is provided compared to the US, for example. So basically, you always have to see like the relativity and put it into context, what is worth to you. Yeah, what it's worth to you to come to Germany. So basically, what I need to see in my coachees and what I need to see in people that want to come to Germany is the willingness to adjust, the willingness to learn German. Also, that they are not afraid of spending money when they, for example, invest in a coaching with me. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a certain amount of money that you enter into, or that you invest in this coaching with me, but it shouldn't like put your entire life at stake, and that you're not able to pay your rent anymore. Then I'm definitely not the right coach for you. Also, something that you need to keep in mind, I want you to be solution oriented and not in that victim mode anymore. Like, oh, everything's so bad. I don't know why I don't get any invites to job interviews, or I don't really want to write the applications. All of these things. No, I want to see activism. I want to see that you are really working towards finding that job of yours, and that you are actually implementing all of the tips and tricks that I'm giving you. And you can do that even without working with me, because there are so many videos on my YouTube channel that will be helpful to you. And if you don't use those, why do you even consider working with me? Because I'm not going to do the work for you, and I will see whether you're doing the work with me or not. At one point, I even stopped working with one of my coaches because I saw that there was no transformation going on, because he was completely blocked and he wanted me to do all of the work for him and changing the process all the time. That's not what's happening. I'm not searching the job for you. You need to do that on your own, with the help that I'm giving you, with the guidance that I provide for you. So I will help you find the right networks. I will help you find the right platforms where to search for a job. I will help you find the right contacts that you need to contact for your particular career path. But you need to do that on your own. You need to contact them. You need to find the contact as well. You need to also write your application documents. You also need to write a cover letter. That is another red flag. People that don't want to write a cover letter, people that don't want to change their CV. So those people that already know what the German standard looks like, those are in high potential of being able to work with me. But if you're not willing to learn, then you're not ready. If you're not willing to, like, if you're not solution oriented, you're not ready to work with me. You're not ready for that transformation of actually coming to Germany, because coming to Germany from your country is a huge step. It's a huge transformation. You're changing your life, and you need to be ready for that. Not just with regards to your job, but mentally as well. Yeah. So you need to do some mindset work, and you need to be flexible and willing to change, and kind of like embracing change as well, because it's a huge step for your language, for your culture, for religion sometimes as well, and obviously for your work life. Some people don't understand that there is a certain process that they need to follow when you are applying for jobs in Germany. So you send out your application, and there is a certain amount of time that you need to wait, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until you get back an answer. Sometimes those companies are quicker, but most of the time they are not that quick, and you need to follow up. You don't know how to follow up. You're too scared to follow up. Then you're not the right person to work with me. I'm sorry. And then you're probably not the right person to come to Germany to find and land that job of yours, because you will continue to struggle with these things, learning German, adjusting to the new culture in the company, adjusting to the new culture in the community, also adjusting just in general to integrate into the society. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Now, that's basically where I see the red flags. Yeah. Whether you are actually, like, whether you have that great passion inside of you of wanting to come to Germany. So a big why you want to come to Germany. That's something that I'm interested in. And then the second thing, also, whether you are willing to learn and flexible and adjustable and solution oriented or not, because otherwise you won't be getting anywhere. If you think that the way you've applied in your country will always work also in Germany, you're not getting anywhere. Then you can send out thousands of applications and you won't get any callbacks. So I hope that was already a little bit of help to you. If you need help and you think you are ready and you need support and an accountability partner that will guide you through that process, you can always contact me. Send me a DM. Now think again about what kind of questions you're asking me, because I can see from the question whether you're ready to start the process or not. Okay. So some people tell me, for example, yeah, I don't have the money at the time, or all of it, like, I don't know, when can I start the process? Well, it's now or never. And it's not my responsibility again to bring up like that money. It's my responsibility to take care of my money, and it's your responsibility to take care of your money and also like your investments that you're doing. If you don't see the value in what you're getting out, because you always get a lot more than what I'm actually asking, yeah, so you get lots of I could charge you a lot more for the coaching with me, but I don't do that. It's just that that's the price that you need to invest in order to work with me. And if you're not ready to do that, or if that amount is too huge for you, then you're definitely not the right coachee for me. Then you need to find a different coach who can help you, or you're just simply not ready to land your dream job here in Germany because you're not willing to make that change. You're not willing to make that commitment, because obviously it's not just the investment of money, it's also investment of time and energy, and like doing your homework and really thinking about those weird wild mindset questions about that transformation that you're about to do. And that transformation already starts. It starts when you start thinking about moving to Germany, and then you want to ask yourself why do you want to come to Germany? It's not just because one of your friends lives here. It's not just because you think you earn more money here. That cannot be the reason. There needs to be a really deep why inside of you, and I want to know what that is. Okay, so I wish you a wonderful Thursday. I wish you a wonderful sunny afternoon, and speak to you very soon. Thank you, and bye bye, you beautiful miracles all around the globe. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye bye.